Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and a new setter again today. This is Leo, first time puzzle sent to us. He had great fun setting it. And it also includes a reference to his friend Echo, and they were hoping for a mention too. So this is Echo of an Arrow. I will go through the rules. It's a sort of new rule for some arrows in a moment, and it looks good fun. It looks a little sparsely populated. When you hear the rule, I think you'll agree with me, but we will see. Now, Blobs has given us a worm, and that is our latest release on the CTC apps. Just for around $2, you can get this 12-part eclectic worm, and it's brilliant. It's got loads of different rule sets in 6x6 puzzles that all lead on to digits for the next one. Absolutely fabulous. A super addition to our stable of worms. Do worms live in a stable? No, they live in a formicerie, I think. Anyway, I'm not going to use that word again, especially as it might be wrong. And that is amongst our apps. We have Classic Sudoku 2, of course, and Fog of War and Line Sudoku, and they're all brilliant and brilliant value. And talking of good value, if you join our Patreon, you can have a go at Bug Friends by Sandra and Nala, the Hunt for the Month, which will expire as a competition on the 20th, but you could still play it if you're a patron. You could still look it up and have a go. You can look up Sandra and Nala's previous hunts as well. They are just superb. Constructors, I mean, it's really a pseudonym for one constructor, if I'm honest, but great fun there as well. Also on Patreon, gridograms and connections videos, which are good fun, and some crossword videos too. And of course, we've got a bit of merch. The Rat Run collection by Marty Sears. Not just the puzzles by Marty, but also the designs. Do check those out. They are enormously amusing. And there's other merch, like I'm sure I've got a mug of some sort there. Look at that, Cracking the Cryptic mug. So do check out the links under the video. It's always good fun. And the first link, though, is to this puzzle, Echo of an Arrow by Leo. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. An arrow cell containing the digit N sends an echo N cells away in the direction of the arrow. That cell also contains N. Smaller digits are silent along these arrows. No digit M that is less than N appears exactly M cells away in that direction. Let's sort of illustrate this with an answer, with a number. If that was a 3, there would be a 3 cells away here. And I think it means this digit wouldn't be a 1 and this digit wouldn't be a 2, because they would be echoing if that occurred. Smaller digits are silent instead. So that digit couldn't be a 1 and that one couldn't be a 2. So I think that's how the rule set works. Now, given that rule set, we get one given digit, and this seems like not very many arrows to me. But I guess as we try and solve the puzzle, we'll find out how this can possibly be enough. It's a fabulous idea by Leo, and give it a try on that first link under the video. The video length will tell you how hard I found it, perhaps. Let's get cracking. So, some of these arrows don't point very far. This one, for instance, is pointing to a maximum of 3 cells. So I'm very tempted to put the candidates 1, 2, and 3 there. It's either creating a 1 here, or a 2 here, or a 3 here. So if we look at these cells as well, that is pointing to a maximum of 5, and it can't be pointing to cell 1 or 2. If that was a 1, you can't put a 1 there by Sudoku rules. It's in the same box. The same is true for 2. So this digit is 3, 4, or 5, and I think it's got to be the same for not only those two, but also these two in equivalent positions. This is a very intriguing quartet, actually. I don't really understand how they work yet, but there must be some interplay between them. That is either giving a 3 there, a 4 there, or a 5 there. Let's keep marking up. That is only pointing to a maximum of 4 cells. This one, it's 5 cells, but the 1 is impossible. Same with that. So they're from 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, I know people don't like my predilection for a lot of pencil marking, but this cell sees it's not going to be number 1. This is also not going to be a 3 in here, because 3 cells away, we have that given 7. So this digit is 2 or 4 or 5 or 6 or maybe 7. I don't think there's a rule that says it couldn't be a 7 pointing to a 7 there. This one can't be a 1. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 at the moment. This one can't be a 1. Could be 2, 3, 4 or 5, like that. This one is pointing to a maximum 7 cells, and it can't be a 1. Same with this one. No, hang on. This one is pointing through the 7, so it can't be a 4 either. This has got a maximum of 8 cells. No, I shouldn't have included 2, because 2 cells away we're still in the same box. So there we go. Mark has fully marked, pencil marked, all of the arrows. That is why Simon calls me Pencil Mark sometimes. Now, what is the interplay? So, if that was a 4, this would be a 4. Oh, look, right, then none of these cells. Okay, let's make those yellow. If this was a 4, that would be a 4. Neither of these cells could be a 4. I mean, that one obviously couldn't because it would have a 4 in its column and box. But this one couldn't either, because that would be trying to point to a 4 there, which would clash with the 4 we're positing here. This couldn't be a 4 either, because it's in the same row as that. So if this digit is a 4, none of the yellows are 4s. But, I don't know that that's a 4, it might be. But there must be one repeat among these 4 digits. It's just not a 4. That's intriguing, and it's true. There is a repeat, and it's not a 4. Oh, this can't be a 2, because it would be pointing at a 2 there, which would be pointing at a 2 there, and that would clash in row 6. So this is either giving us a 1 here or a 3 here, definitely. These arrows. Okay, there's a weird virtual 2, 3, 4, 5 quad in this box. Right, let me try and explain this. I've drawn a blue H. I'll try and explain that. This digit is either putting a 3 here, a 4 here, or a 5 here. This digit is also either putting a 3 here, a 4 here, or a 5 here. They can't both, of course, for the reasons I've just explained, be both putting a 4 here, because they would clash between themselves in row 4. So that is 2 digits from 3, 4, 5 appearing in this blue quincunx. Now, the other 2 digits from 2, 3, 4, 5 appear in these 2 cells in the box. And that is a weird quadruple. It's a very virtual quadruple because we don't know. What we do know is that these digits, which aren't blue and aren't these arrows, don't have 2, 3, or 4, 5 in them, or indeed 7 by Sudoku. So they contain 1, 6, 8, or 9. Now, one of these 2 is the 2 because the 2 digits these cells are sending into box 8 are 3, 4, or 5. And in the quad of 2, 3, 4, 5, there is a 2, and it must be in one of these cells. And that means one of these 2 cells is 2. Either that 2 is pointing to a 2 there, or that one to there. And now we've got a weird X-wing on 2s. There's either 2 there and there, in which case the remaining 2 in columns 4, 5, 6 is somewhere here, or there's a 2 there and there, and still the remaining 2 would be here. What this tells us is that there can't be a 2 anywhere in columns 4 or 6 apart from in those cells, and that includes this one, so that's not a 2. So this cell is now either throwing a 3 there, well, it's not throwing a 4 here because we've pencil marked that with different digits. So that, okay, this is interesting in its own right. That is either sending a 3 here or a 5 here. Now I'm getting excited about that because if that's a 3, this pair in the same box is 4, 5. And then we've got a 3, 4, 5 triple in the box. But if this is a 5, which seems to be the alternative interpretation of that arrow, then this is a 4, 3 pair, and we've got a 3, 4, 5 pair in the column. And I think either way round, 3 is unavailable here. Either we've got a 3, 4, 5 set there, or one of these two is, or these two are a 3, 4 pair. And this digit can therefore never be 3 if I've got this right. That is a 1, and it's putting a 1 here. Now this digit can't be a 1. And is that all I get from that? There's a 1 somewhere up here. That might be all I get from that. That's disappointing. That's my first actual digit in the puzzle. And I thought it would yield a bit more. But it might do stuff that I'm not quite understanding yet. Oh, I'm very scared about this negative constraint, about the smaller digits being silent. Like, I'm really hoping that only comes in at the end, because that's going to be quite difficult to use, I fear. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't like it. I'm going to say I'm a little nervous about having to use it. Okay, now, this can't be a 2, because if you had a 2 here, that would clash with the 2 that must go in one of those cells. This can't be a 2, because a 2 there would clash with the 2 in one of these cells in the box. What else can't this be? If that was a 3, it would clash, well, it would force that to be a 5. Maybe that's not quite a clash. And maybe I should be focusing on something that's going to be actually useful rather than just taking one candidate out of a 4-candidate cell if I'm right. Right, this is now either giving us a 3 here, a 4 here, 5, 6, or 7. Well, 5 would be powerful there. No, let's focus on this again. That's either putting a 3 here and making this a 5, 4 pair, or a 5 here and making this a 3, 4 pair. One of these is 4. Now, I think by the work I did at the start, that means that neither of these are 4. Let me just check that. One of these is 4, and that's going to put a 4 either here or here. One of these two is a 4, so that can't be a 4 anymore. But also, if one of those two is a 4, these cannot be 4s, because if that's putting a 4 there, this couldn't put a 4 there, and this couldn't exist as a 4 in row 4. And if that's putting a 4 there, this couldn't exist as a 4 in row 6, and that couldn't put a 4 there. So I think neither of these are 4s. These are now a 3, 5 pair. I can now take 3 and 5 out of these cells. That's getting interesting. But let's see what this means. 3 is now being sent either into that cell or into that one, and that is going to see, I don't like marking these across boxes because they will confuse me later, but that is going to see both this cell and take 3 out of them, and this one now has become a 5. And that is going to put a 5 here. Oh, that negative constraint says that this digit can't be a 1, because 5 is the smallest echoing digit. This one would echo as a 1, like it wouldn't be silent if it was not a 1. So I'm taking 1 out of that. Right, I'm going to take 3 out of this because I can't put 3 there. Now I've got this 3, 5 pair. So that's a 2, and that's putting a 2 here. And now there's a 2 in one of those cells. The 2 in row 4 is in one of these two. Now, one of these is sending a 5. It is not that one. That can't send a 5 to there because it would clash in the box. So it's that one sending a 5 to here. Now I take 5 out of these cells. In fact, I can even say one of these is definitely a 5 and not that one. This is now a 3, sending a 3 to here. that does nothing else, but it does do something here. This digit now sees 3 and 5, and that is a 4, sending a 4 to there. And this digit is a 3, sending a 3 to here. I really hope nothing is broken. I don't think so. This is now a 2-4 pair. So as well as sending a 2 to one of those positions, they're sending a 4 to one of those. Well, I know which one it is. It can't be in this box where there's already a 4. So it's that one, which is being created by a 4 there, and this is a 2, putting a 2 here. That is a beautiful break-in. I mean, are we calling that whole thing a break-in? I think we probably are. That's lovely. I mean, all of those are done. Now, I haven't always used the negative constraint. Yeah, here we go. This digit can't be 2 because of this arrow. 1, 2, 3, not allowed. So we found 2. Now this can't be 2 or 4 or 5 given what it sees. It can't put a 3. Oh yes, it could. Not only can it put a 3 there, it does put a 3 here. Look at these 4 3s looking into the central box. They're putting a 3 in the middle. And that now must be a 3, because if it tried to be a 6 or a 7 and put a digit like that over here, the 3 would echo. We've got this rule that no digit m, which is less than n, appears exactly m cells away. So that must be a 3. Actually, I was wrong. This negative constraint rule is actually quite useful and entertaining. Okay, this can't be a 2, because that can't be 2. It can't be 4. Oh, yeah, because that can't be 4. It could be 5. Or 6 or 7. So I'm taking 2 and 4 out of that cell. What about this? I haven't looked at this for ages. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's either 6 there or 7 here. This one can't be 3 there. Can't be 4 here. So that is a 6, 7 pair in the box. So one of them is putting a 6 into one of these cells, and one of them is putting a 7 into one of those. And that 6 and 7, well, because they're on one each on the diagonals, they're either going to be in the same row or the same column. This digit now can't be 6 or 7. Can it be 4? No, because we've got a 3 there. This has to be 8. And that's going to put another 8 in the corner opposite. And it's going to stop this being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think most of those are stopped already, maybe apart from 1 here. But now this can't be a 1. Actually, neither of these can be a 1 because of these arrows. So suddenly I can place 1 in this box. Oh, I have just had a thought that could have occurred to me ages ago and didn't. If this digit, which is the only arrow that could possibly have an 8 on, if that didn't have an 8, how would you ever disambiguate 8s and 9s in this puzzle? It's a sort of uniqueness problem in that you wouldn't have a unique solution. You could fill, if this wasn't an 8 in this arrow, from the word go you could write this in, but not in a way that we like to do on the channel. We don't like to use uniqueness. From the point of view of part of what we're doing when we solve these puzzles, is not just solving them, but also proving they only have one possible correct solution. If you use the uniqueness constraint that you must use this digit as an 8 because otherwise there would be 2 possible solutions to the puzzle and the constructor won't have allowed that, well then you haven't found the logic that actually pervades the puzzle. You've just sort of trusted the constructor. Well, although obviously we do trust our constructors, we do also prove that they're right, and that's what we're doing. Anyway, that is an 8. This can't be an 8. And now, what can we do? There's loads of Sudoku going on. And I've just got to find it. Right, 3 is in one of those 2 cells in this box. This is a 3-5 pair, and that must be 3. This seems to be a triple. 2, 4, 9 are left. So that can't be 4, that can't be 2. So in the rest of the row, that can't be 9. We're looking for 6, 7, 8. Now we've still got these arrows to complete. Actually, and this one. Okay, well, let's just bear that in mind as we go. Now, what else? 2s, 3s, 4s. What digit is really useful? I don't know. That can't be, no, I was going to say it can't be a 4. Nonsense. Could be. 7, 3, 2. I'm sorry, I'm just regrouping slightly. 2 in this box can't be in any of those cells. It's in the corner. There's a 2 in one of those cells. The 4 in this box can be placed. That's going to give me, not there, a 4 in one of those 2. In this bottom row, this digit is 6, 7, or 9. One of these 2 is an 8. Once we get up with these higher digits, that negative constraint is not going to apply. Oh, 4 in the central box. Let's just keep doing 4s and see if that finishes. We had 1 in one of those. It really doesn't finish, does it? No. Okay. I want to use this 6 and 7, but I just don't know which way round they go yet. 5, 4, 3, 2. 8 has to be in one of those 2 cells in box 2 because of the 8 in the corner. Then 8 can't be in these. I don't know. 2, 4, 3. We need a 1 in this box in one of those 2. Then we have a 1 in box 5 to come. That 2's done. Oh, this 4 can't see 1, 2, or 3. I'm not learning anything from the negative constraint. Should I be? Okay, if that was a 5, we would have a 5 here. Then that would have to be 5. We couldn't put a 5 in row 5. If that was a 5, this digit, I'm just checking the calculation, yeah, would be a 5. And in row 5, it looks like it has to be there from the rows, but that won't work for the columns. So, in fact, I should have done this by placing the 5 in box 5. It's there. Now this can't be a 5. This is also, right, this is also putting a 6 here or a 7 here. Now, is there some sort of X-wing exclusion thing that I can do? Well, these remaining digits are 6, 7, 8, and 9. That one can't be 8. Something must be eliminable by that being either this being 6 or that being 7. Now, if this was 7, this would not be allowed to be 6 by the negative constraint, the M and N constraint. So if that was 7, this would be 8, and this would be a 6-9 pair. Alternatively, this is 6. So this digit can never be 7. That's very simply because then that would be... No, it would be breaking both the possibility of this being 7 and it being 6 by being a 7 in position 6. Now I've got a 6-8 pair if I've done my pencil marking correctly. How did I know that wasn't a 9? Because of this 2, 4, 9 triple. Yeah, this is a 7 now. This is now a 6-9 pair. This is an 8. This is a 6. And that tells us that this digit is a 6. That's going to unwind the 6-7 pair in box 7, actually. That's a 6 because if it was a 7, yes, you could have a 7 here, but this digit would be echoing and breaking the rule. So once this becomes a 6, that has to be a 6. Now there's no 6 in these cells. We need a 6 in the row. It's there. That is putting a 6 here. This digit becomes a 7, and that's putting a 7 here. And I'm going to take out those pencil marks and decide I know where 1 goes in box 3. It's a lovely puzzle, this. It's really elegantly set up. I'm a big fan, Leo. Brilliant. Right, that 7 sorts out the rest of the column, 9 and 6. I mean, I think we've done all the clues now. I might have missed some. Yeah, here's another negative constraint. This digit can't be a 1 because of both the 5 and the 3 arrow. It would be echoing. It's weird. Actually, this one can't be a 1 because of that 2 arrow. So these ones were easy. I just didn't notice them. So we get a 1 there. Sorry, I'm not insulting the virtue of the 1s. I'm just saying I should have been able to solve them. Now, 7 in this box is placed. We need an 8 in one of these cells, so this is 6 or 9. It's actually the same digit as that. Well, I know which one it is. It's a 9. So this is a 6-8 pair. This is a 9 here. That's a 6 next to it. This is 9 at the top of the grid. These are 6, 7, 8. This digit is a naked single. It sees that 6 and 7. So the others are 7 and 6. Actually, we do know, thanks to this 6 over here. In this row, we need a 9 and a 2. In this column, we don't need a 2, so we know where the 2 is in this group of cells. Actually, we know all of them. 4 and 9. We go up here for a 7 and a 4, I would think. We need a 3 in the top row. This has become a 2-5 pair. We do know the order. This is a 4-9 pair. We do know the order. This is a 5-8 pair. We don't know the order yet. That is 7 or 8 in the column. Oh, we're not going to have to find one more negative constraint. I doubt it. That 3 is looking at this pair. That's looking back at this pair. This digit is a right-in 6 now. That's 8. That's 6. This is a 9 to complete the row. These are a 9-8 pair. That's a 7. 8 and 7, and 2 digits to go, 8 and 5. What a lovely puzzle, echoing around the grid. I really like that. It's not that hard once you get your head around it. And I mean, I really picked on a good set of arrows to start with, which I'm sure were deliberately seeded in the grid by Leo. But it's a very nice puzzle. I'm a big fan, Leo. Do create another puzzle and send it along, because that one was excellent. And I commend to you Leo's echo of an arrow, and I wish him very well, and I hope you have a great day, and I'd love to see you again tomorrow for another Sudoku. Bye for now.